So there you have it. Right from the mouth of Jesus, he condemns housework. Don't do it. Not really. We'll get back to that in a minute. In 1965, there was a fairly large male singing group called the Byrds. And they spelled Byrds B-Y-R-D-S. One of their more popular songs was a song called Turn, Turn, Turn. To every season, there's a time for everything. It's actually based on a book of the Bible, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verses 1 to 11. And one of the verses in that third chapter, in fact, verse 7 says, a time to be silent, a time to speak. That's exactly the background of today's gospel. Mary and Martha had to choose which time they would use. One chose the better part, one chose a lesser part. So let's talk about that scene there. Again, it's a true scene, it's not a parable. See, Martha and Mary and their brother Lazarus lived a couple of miles from Jerusalem. I think Jesus used to hang out there a lot. Maybe after a long day in Jerusalem, he went there and just wanted to be with some friends. They were close friends. He seemed to hang out there very often. So on this particular occasion, they knew that Jesus was going to be coming there maybe the next day. So Martha, being the perfect hostess, I'm sure she spent the day before cleaning the house, making it spick and span perfect. And then she got up early the next morning, went to the local market, got all the fresh food. I wanted to have a wonderful meal for Jesus. She couldn't have done better. She was wonderful at hosting the special guest. But Mary was also a good hostess. Maybe not according to Martha's description. But once Jesus walked in the house, she gave him her undivided attention, sat down at his feet and listened to him. Maybe that's just what he needed. Maybe after spending a long day in Jerusalem, 2 miles away, he just needed to sit down and get things off his chest. Just talk to a friend. Have them kind of evaluate what went on that day and so forth. Mary gave him what he needed. Martha was very, very busy. Now again, I'd say Martha was a good hostess. She did the right thing. But Jesus said Mary chose the better part, Martha chose the good part. But I think that's the challenge there for us. We have a choice of how to use our time. Let me give an example that I'm sure maybe rings well with some of the women here. I remember when I was a child and through my teenage years and young adult years, Thanksgiving. My mom spent Thanksgiving Eve and all Thanksgiving Day getting everything ready. Like Martha, the house was clean and we helped clean the house. Besides our family of 5, we invited cousins and aunts and uncles and relatives. We usually had about 15 or 20 people there for Thanksgiving dinner. Mom got up early, prepared the turkey and did all that. And then served the meal, and then took the plates away, and then did the dishes, and then the guests all left. And I remember many years she's saying, I never had a chance to spend time with my family. Well, Martha, actually my mother's name was Mary. Too bad. So let's take it on another level. How much time do you spend with Jesus? And how much time are you too busy to do so? I'm going to ask you a couple questions. These are rhetorical questions. I do not want to see hands raised. I do not want to see heads nodding. And I do not want you to look at other people around you. Last week, the 6 days before today. So last Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today's Saturday. So that'd be July 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. How many of you prayed at least once? Okay, no hands, no nodding. How many of you prayed at least once every single day of those last 6 days up to today? How many of you spent more than 20 minutes a day doing that? If you said, yes, I prayed every single day the last 6 days, and it was longer than 20 minutes, you are Marys. Congratulations. Keep it up. But I think many of us are Marthas, myself included. We're so busy doing good things like Martha was doing. We're busy holding down a job, paying the bills, raising a family, keeping our marriage together, taking care of our health, socializing with family and friends, getting kids ready for school. Those are all good things like Martha. But if we're too busy, we don't have time for Jesus, then something is wrong with our priorities. 7 days without prayer makes 1 week. W-E-A-K. So I challenge you to triple what's happening right now. You're spending an hour in church this Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5. I want you to triple that next week. That's 20 minutes a day. That'd be 2 hours at the end of 6 days. 2 hours plus today is 1 hour. You'd have 3 hours by this time next Saturday. Try to be more like Mary and less like Martha. What are we busy at? I mentioned some things, but I think the biggest distraction in our lives is right here in my pocket. That. Social media, I love it, I use it, but I think you can track how many hours a day you spend on this phone or on a tablet or on a laptop or a computer. You might be shocked how many hours a day you're on this phone, especially our young people. I know when I was a kid, parents used to limit the number of hours we watched TV. I think parents need to limit the number of hours your young people are on this phone. And they tell us that young people, especially teenagers who are on it all the time, their vision begins to be impaired. They are not healthy. They don't exercise. They don't do a lot of physical things because they're on this all the time. This is a Martha phone. It keeps us too busy. Track how much time you do on that. So will you take that challenge? And if you're already doing that, congratulations, keep it up, and share that with others in your family or friends. Say, I've decided to put aside 20 minutes a day, half hour a day, whatever. If you've been so busy and you haven't done that, try it for the next 6 days, 20 minutes a day. You may need to set your alarm 20 minutes early so you get up before the busyness of your house takes over. You may need to spend another 20 minutes before you go to bed at night, or maybe when the house is quiet, and get rid of all distractions. No music, no TV, no sounds. Maybe find a place that's quiet. Mary's place was at the feet of Jesus. There's a quiet place right there at the feet of Jesus, the tabernacle, the Eucharistic chapel. But you don't have to come here to pray. Yes, it's open 7 days a week from, I think, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. That chapel's open, I think, till like 8 p.m. every day. Find some time. Triple your 1 hour here and see what a difference that makes. I think Mary went away very satisfied. She listened to the Lord, and I'm sure that made her day. And Martha's probably still frustrated. Lazy Mary. It didn't help me out. I'm tired, like my mom at the end of Thanksgiving Day. Who had a better day? Mary. May your days be better, holier, and closer to the Lord. Give the Lord 20 minutes a day and see what a difference that makes.